Another month, another list of potential books. So let's just start talking about them. Hey everyone, my name's Ercy and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to talk about all the books I plan on reading this month. I have some physical books, some audiobooks. I feel like a big theme that I'm doing this month is just continuing on with some of the series that I've started. And I just want to get into the fall atmosphere too, So we got a lot of creepy and darker books, and I feel like it's very suitable for this time of year. But let's not ramble on too much, and let's just talk about the books. Let's talk about my current read right now. My current read right now is the second book of the Dark Tower series, and that's The Drawing of the Three by Stephen King. I am almost done with it. I should have finished this last month, but it was just a busy month. So I didn't get a chance to finish this one. But once I do, I will be hopping right into the third one, which is The Wastelands. I haven't read anything of the synopsis because I'm still in the middle of this one. But what I wanted to mention real quick in regards to these books is what I've been doing to help me get through the series is I've been listening to the audiobook at the same time. And it's really helped me get into the atmosphere of this book and the vibes that Stephen King is trying to convey in these books. I probably should have done that with The Gunslinger, but it's okay because I'm still having a good time with this one, listening to it rather than reading it and trying to come up with these voices in my head. It's been a really good time listening to the author of this. And one of the things that I just have to mention is I love the voices that he gives to the people in Eddie's world, these gangsters or drug dealers from New York in the 80s. And I feel like the voices that he gives to these people are classic older movies from that time era. And it's really fun to just listen to. But yeah, so these are the next two books I hope to be completing very soon. But afterwards, I do plan on getting to the second book of the Books of Babel series by Josiah Bancroft, and that's Arm of the Sphinx. Again, I was supposed to read this last month, but it didn't happen. So I'm just going to roll it over for this month. This is just the second book in that series. We're still following Sensyne as he's trying to find where his wife is in this very weird and whimsical tower. So a lot of phallic books this month. I'm sorry. The third book I plan on getting to, this is more of an atmospheric read, and that's The Shadows by Alex North. I don't know too much about this. I got this from Book of the Month a little while ago. I even forgot what it's about. But it's supposed to be this psychological thriller, maybe even paranormal. I'm not sure. But I'm going to keep it as a mystery and read it this month and just try to get all the spooky vibes I can get from this book. So yeah, that's The Shadows by Alex North. The last physical book I'm going to mention is another rollover from last month, and that's Chaos, Charles Manson, the CIA, and the Secret History of the 60s by Tom O'Neill with Dan Piepenbring. This is a true crime book regarding the inconsistencies of the Charles Manson case, I guess uncovering the cover-ups and all of the mysteries behind what happened and why these murder specifically has captivated the nation during this time, that is. I just started it not too long ago. I'm just a couple chapters or sub-chapters in to this book, and the narration is really easy to follow, so I don't feel like I'm gonna have a hard time going through it, even though it's in a genre that I'm not that familiar with. So hopefully it's not as bad as I think it's gonna be. No, I feel like it's going to be good because the wait time for this was a long time at the library for the book and the audiobook. So I'll probably do the same thing that I did with the Stephen King books where I'll listen to the audiobook while also reading it. But given that it's a true crime, I'll probably throw in the audiobook as I'm like walking my dog or something, you know. But yeah, that's Chaos by Tom O'Neill with Dan Piepenbring. Speaking of audiobooks, let's talk about the ones that I have on my list for this month. The first one I'm going to talk about is Unplugged by J.B. Taylor. And this is a science fiction book, but under the cyberpunk category of it. And this one, I want to thank Raul from Raul Reads, along with the author of this book, because I actually received this audiobook from them. So I think Raul was promoting this book on Twitter, and in partnership with the author, they were giving away a few copies of the audiobook, and I asked for one and I received one, and that's why I have it. I was reading the synopsis out loud to my husband, and we both kind of agreed that from the synopsis, it kind of sounds like a mix between The Matrix and Terminator, which is cool because I felt like both of those movies were really fun. The world around us is like a digital prison, and our protagonist Zendaya wants to unplug and help free humanity from the machines. And the machines apparently have waged war across the earth. It sounds really cool. I'm really excited to give it a try, and I want to thank Raul and J.B. Taylor for allowing me to have a copy of this book. So thank you guys. Moving on to another audiobook that is way different from any of the books that I mentioned. And it's Actor H. Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert. This is the third book of the Brown Sisters trilogies. These are romance books, romantic comedies. This is just for me to finish out the series. I read the first two books in this series a little while back, and they were a good time. I really liked both of them. I think the first one I gave 5 stars. The second one I gave 4 stars. So I'm really hopeful that I will enjoy this one, given that I really like the other two in the series. And this is just following the younger sister, Eve Brown. And I think it's a hate to love romance. I don't know, but it's just like a little palate cleanser from all of these darker books that I have on my lineup for this month. And it'll be finishing out this series for me. Keeping it fluffy, the next 3 audiobooks are all from the Twisted Tales series. I won't get into them too much, but one thing I do want to note is that all 3 of these are by the same author, and it's a different author from the previous 5 books that I've already read in this series. And they're all by Jen Colonita. I'm curious to see how the change of the author is going to affect how the books are turning out, because out of the 5 books that I already read in the Twisted Tales series, 4 of them were by Liz Braswell, and all 4 of those I gave 3 stars. One of them was by Elizabeth Lim, and that was Reflection, and it wound up being one of my favorite books. But these 3 are all by Jen Colonita, and I've never read anything from her, so I'm curious to see how her interpretations of these Disney movies are going to be. So let's just get into the books. The first one is Mirror Mirror. I already talked about this one last month. This one is a Snow White retelling where the evil queen poisons the prince instead of Snow White. The next one is Conceal, Don't Feel. This is a Frozen retelling. And in this one, I believe Elsa and Anna have never met. And then the third one is Straight On Till Morning. And this is a Peter Pan retelling in which Wendy goes to Neverland with Captain Hook instead of Peter Pan. So let's see how they go. But that's going to be it for all the books this month. It's already a lot of books, but I feel like if I read 1 physical book a week along with 1 audiobook, like 1 to 2 audiobooks a week, I should be good in order to get to all of these books. But knowing me, something's going to come up and I probably won't get to everything. But those are all the books that I plan on reading. Let me know in the comments what you plan on reading this month. Have you read any of these books? Let me know what you think, because I'm really excited for all of these books, and I'm excited for October. I'm excited for spooky season. I'm excited for the weather to cool down. I already got my cardigan on. Like, I love fall. That's gonna be it for me. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.